Even though all the races take place in the open water, much of the training takes place here in the pools. That's why anybody can train for open water swimming.
To train swimmers in the pool to get ready for an open water race, there's a couple of things you can do. One, you can pull out all the lane lines and have them swim the perimeter of the pool. That'll get them used to not having the line straight there on the bottom of the pool. They have to, swim that perimeter. Also, while swimming that perimeter, you could put cones up on each corner, make them sight the cone and swim straight towards that cone. Another thing that you can do is move the cone around. One lap they do it where the cone's in one place, and another time the cone's in another place. So they have to sight the cone and swim straight towards that cone. Those things will help them be able to sight the buoys and train their lower back muscles for this open water race. I think sometimes that's the misconception, is that kids try to sight buoys and their lower backs hurt them. You got to build up those muscles in their lower back to help them be able to sustain their body position throughout the whole race.
I train primarily in a pool. I really don't train in open water very much at all. When I travel to a competition, I typically like to get there a couple days early to get acclimated to whatever the conditions there are. But no, I train in the pool.
It's hard to make a practice feel like a race. It's it's a completely different mindset. It's very complicated, all the races and the adrenaline that's going through you. So you can do some open water training, making sure your sighting is good and your turns and making sure that you know how to do all of that. But it's really hard to duplicate the race into practice.
Although there's some little things that you can do. You and I both pulled the lane lines out during practice so that people are swimming against each other, and there's little tricks that you can do. But the 5K and 10K is no different than your normal practice. 5K's half a practice.
We train in the pool every day, and in Southern California we don't really train in the ocean that often. In the summer sometimes we'll do a beach workout, but our experience comes mostly from racing and doing as many competitions as we can.
We're still coming up with new stuff.
And I'll never forget, the kids had a ball. They had an absolute ball.
Sure.
So
you're pointing out who they need to go find on the other side. You just make stuff up, but it's simulating what they will find out there in an open water race. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. We didn't either. And so just imagine, take a look at a picture. What can you produce that looks like that in your own practice? And that is something that will be invaluable to a swimmer when you're giving them a chance to really succeed.
Let's take a look at some skills and training you can do in the pool to prepare for open water swimming. Skills include sighting, pack swimming, and turns around buoys. Let's also see how you can set up your pool to conduct a pool open water event. Training for open water in the pool is great aerobic training for your swimmers. In order to navigate the open water course, swimmers need to be able to sight on landmarks, turn buoys, and the finish. They will also need to keep track of their competitors during the race.
There are two conditions that you deal with in a lot of the swims. One is rough water. If you roll and you've got a wave coming in, you're not going to be able to sight anything. So you actually have to raise your head. When you do that, best swimmers raise their head but move it forward. They take their look and then place it down. In a calm water swim, the last thing you want to do is raise your head and expose your body to water. All right? So what you end up doing is lifting the head slightly, look forward, and then place it down in a roll.
Stroke patterns for sighting off buoys, depending on if it's flat water, you might need a sight every 6 to 8 stroke cycles. If it's choppy water in the ocean, you might need every 3 to 4 stroke patterns. It's very important to make sure that you're swimming in a straight line than swimming all over the place. If